Hey friends, it's Joby here, and we're going to play Depth Hunter 2 Deep Dive. Depth Hunter 2 is it's a sequel to the 2012 game Depth Hunter. It is not a sequel to Shark Hunting the Great White, which is what I thought Depth Dive 1 was when I bought Depth Dive 2. Imagine my disappointment for my being a freaking idiot. Anyway, Depth Hunter is purported to be a free diving simulator. On their store page they have the word simulator there, and yeah, basically it claims to be a simulator, and so we're going to check it out. We're going to see just how simulatrix it is, but first we'll go through some of these menus and see what we've got. So you've got all kinds of things, information, character information, photos you've taken in the game. As you can see, taking some photos of some fish. You've got a store, so they've got a store in the game, and you can check out. You can upgrade things. You earn gold in the game, and you can use the gold to buy things. So as you can see, I've already upgraded my. It's free diving, so I've upgraded, I guess, my own lungs using money. Maybe a strict training regimen is what occurred. You can also upgrade your spear gun. You can buy all these things. I have no idea if they stack. And you can, yeah, you can swim faster as well, so... Oh, I'm short on that cash, but I've got enough for that one. But you only equip one of them. See, that's where they're all equipped, right? But I can only equip one of these. I've equipped all the lungs. I've got the best camera. It inexplicably has a flash drive for your camera, which confuses me, because why aren't the resources for taking photos limitless? And then things get freaky deaky when you look at this dude's head. What's going on here? He's got a weird malformed jaw. And what I think has happened is that they've lazily taken a scuba diver and they've flesh colored his hood, the hood of his scuba suit. Because as you can see, his scuba suit just sort of ends there, and his neck just somehow begins. And obviously there's the crease, because it's freaky deaky as hell. That is weird. I've only unlocked 2 levels so far. Thailand you start off with. You have to do a bunch of tedious missions to unlock South Africa. As you can see from the picture, South Africa involves sharks. So let's jump into South Africa, and you can see what's going on there. I'm not a fan of this game. I think we'll just come right out and say it. If we do, we can do treasure hunting, and we can do missions. We can go to the shop from here, and we can check out the options. We might do that now. There's no options for changing controls, so you can't change from the default controls, and that includes inverted camera, if that's something that you care about. I mean, obviously it's time that you moved on from the inverted camera experience, but yeah, it's kind of shitty that it isn't there. It's also shitty that you can't change any of the other controls either. You can't change the default action button is mouse button 1, which I guess in the sense that, you know, oh yeah, well, firing your spear gun is an action. That makes sense if you think about it that way, but there are occasions where you'll fire your spear gun directly into the sand while trying to pick up coins. I'll show you in a second. It's ridiculous. Audio settings. I've got the sound effects turned all the way down, because otherwise it overwhelms the sound of my wonderful voice. I have no idea what voices bring to the table. I don't think I've ever heard a voice in the game, but I turn the music off. I don't actually dislike the music, but it's just, it loops too quickly. It's not long enough, so it loops, and you hear it loop, and it's a bit jarring. And video settings. Yeah, there's not a lot going on here, so I'm going to keep it on these settings because it ensures that I've got the most frames I can get out of it, but obviously you can't change your field of view or anything other than what you can see in front of you, and I don't see a huge impact in jacking the sun shadows up to high, but there is an impact, and obviously I want to keep this looking good. So we're going to jump into free roaming mode, and right away you can see some sharks, and right away you can see it tells me don't shoot. Oh my god, apparently I missed. So I guess we'll go straight into one of the things that bugs the crap out of me about this game, and that's that fish do not react to your presence. Hello, shark. So you can basically just swim in front of the shark. Oh, hello. So the extent to which fish react to your presence is basically they have pathing to go around you, but other than that, other than the pathing to not collide with you or other things in the game world, they don't care that you exist, which is a weird thing to have in a fish hunting game. That noise that you hear, the do-do-do-do, that plays every single time, except for when you miss. That's the miss noise, but you've also got this one. Nope. Anyway. So what's that noise plays all the time. Every single time you do anything. Even if you take photos. Let's take a photo of this shark. Hello, shark. A sound plays as if you won a slot machine game or something. It's awful. And I don't understand why they've included it, because one of the draws, one of the appeals that this game has is that it's relaxing and serene as you dive underwater and swim around. But instead, you've got this jarring noise that plays every time you do anything at all. And so you're practically encouraged to not engage with the world. Let's so as you can see, the spear gun has disappeared, and if I press the action button, click, noise will play because I picked up a coin. I didn't inexplicably fire my spear gun that time, but often when you're firing quickly, like you're attempting to pick up lots of coins, it'll happen. Let's see if we can. No, of course it's not gonna happen. Just when I'm trying to demonstrate it, it doesn't happen. What a coincidence. So anyway, you swim around and you are overfishing. You're trying to make fish a thing of the past. That's the game here, is for you to remove fish from the equation. Because you murder stacks of fish. And obviously, you know, I don't have... It's a game, and I don't feel like anyone's learning to, you know, murder shitloads of fish because they're playing this, but it is sort of mind-blowing just how many fish you wind up straight killing for the sake of attempting to complete missions and things. It's a freediving simulator. We might get that out of the way. It's very weird that a freediving simulator would have the noise of a respirator. You can constantly hear me breathing. because you know you're holding your breath when you're free diving. And you can dive as low as you want, and then you can go back up as fast as you want, and it doesn't really affect you. That was my fault. I was getting click happy. But yeah, you can dive as low as you want, and then go back up as high, as fast as you like. I have the ultimate speed upgrade, so I can't sprint anymore. All I do is I constantly move at the same speed as my sprint. So when you first start out the game, you swim about half this speed. But now, yeah, now I always power along, which is, oh my god, shame, Joe. Anyway, so yeah, it's replicating the sound of a respirator while you're underwater. You've got a scuba mask on, your scuba hood on rather, which is very weird. It plays that annoying noise all the time, which is crazy. I can't leave this area. We found an invisible wall because I've reached the boundary of the game world. Instead of some sort of natural rock formation that could block me, the game instead just blocks me on its own. Oh, here's a natural rock formation. So they are capable of creating such things, but not for the purposes of making the game feel makes sense. Anyway, so we can swim around inside this cave. This is actually my favorite part of the entire game, this cave. A sword! Sweet sword. And, yeah. I think if they got rid of that annoying noise, it could actually exist as some sort of odd sort of fish photography simulator where I'd actually enjoy that. I think I could get behind that sort of game. As it stands though, like the way it rewards players for doing the missions, which involve usually just killing fish or finding treasure, you're constantly hearing that noise. Well, there's big fish. Where are these fish going? I don't even know. Like, do I just have this big bag behind me that I can't actually see? They just disappear. It's not that big a deal, I guess. It's just that the game claims to be a simulator, so I guess, you know, you'd think they'd actually focus on attempting to simulate some stuff. At the moment, it simulates about as well as Goat Simulator simulates being a goat, which is, except the gimmick of Goat Simulator is that it's completely unrealistic, while Depth Hunter 2 is ostensibly realistic. We can see, I think one of these caves has jellyfish in it, and jellyfish are, as far as I can tell, the only thing that can hurt you in the game. And they hurt you by you swimming into them. Ah! Oh my god! But they only hurt you once. Oh my god. But yeah. Underwater invisible walls and ridiculous. So most of the game actually involves, you know, hidden object finding. When you're treasure hunting, you're attempting to find a bunch of treasure on the ground hidden by the lights of the game, and like the natural lighting makes finding these things challenging, and so you're hunting around for treasure, which is It's okay, but annoying when you can't find, I don't know, some random piece of treasure, like a plate or something. Find this special plate, and you can't pick up stuff if you've got the camera out, which is weird. In this level, you can actually go into the underwater wreck. In the first one, in Indonesia, there's an underwater plane, and you're only able to swim in a small part of it, which is just weird. Ah, you get the aiming icon through the wall. Sorry, now I'm distracted. Ah, that would have been pretty funny. If you shoot the things that it says not to shoot, it just passes straight through, which means you can't ever accidentally or deliberately kill a turtle, a shark, a manta ray, a weird little anemone. None of these things are... Oh my god, why would I... I'm recording this. Job, stop being terrible. Let's go back to photo mode so you can't see me missing. Shit. And yeah, basically, I can't work out what sort of hole in the complex ecosystem of video games Depth Hunter 2 is attempting to fill, because Depth Hunter 1 still exists. It looks as pretty as this one. It doesn't involve being able to upgrade your hunter, but that doesn't really change anything anyway, because you'll earn enough gold to upgrade everything in the game before you hit even the third mission of the second level, South Africa. So after that, you're simply doing missions to do missions, to listen to the terrible jingle that plays every time you do anything. Yeah, the photo mode has an insane limit on it for some reason. It also doesn't let you photograph the same fish more than once, which is weird and needlessly restrictive. I don't understand what that changes. Like, if I want to get 3 photos of a freaking turtle, why can't I do that? I could do it in real life. Why is this game more restrictive than real life is? Crazy. Where's this guy again? Nope, still the same fish. But it's the same fish in particular, not the same type of fish. It still remembers, oh my god. So, yeah, ultimately, I can't recommend this game. It's just, it doesn't bring anything to the table. It's nice to listen to the sound of a respirator, but you can't separate the jingle from the sound of the respirator as a sound effect. It doesn't allow you to really customize the game to your experience. Speeding up, if I could speed up anymore, speeding up is bound to the spacebar, which is ridiculous. Yeah, the action button is bound to LMB as opposed to E or F. This complete lack of reaction from the fish is just terrible. I mean, if they reacted, if they tried to get away, like, I don't know if you've ever been snorkeling or scuba diving, but some fish will come swim up to you, but the moment you make a sudden action, they will get the hell out of there. They leave very quickly. Fish they got no time for being attacked by a big, sweaty human. But these fish just don't give a shit. It's like their entire lives, they've been tortured by having to put up with humans deliberately attempting to swim in their way, which is sort of sad in its own idiotic way. yeah, I don't know. The sharks not posing any threat is odd as well. It's annoying because you could have a real sense of tension in the game if the sharks did anything at all, but they don't. And yeah, basically this game is a real shame. That's how I feel about it. It doesn't bring anything to the table, and I'm not sure what anyone would be getting out of it. It's okay when you're swimming around and not interacting with the world, but that's, yeah, you're swimming around and not really interacting with the world. Anyway, thanks for joining me for Depth Hunter 2. Like I said, I can't recommend it. If you did want to play an underwater game where there was a sense of adventure, there's still a relaxing sort of vibe to it because it's underwater, I recommend trying Fast Sky, which is it's an indie adventure slash builder game that came out, I think, earlier this year. And the graphics aren't as realistic as this. It doesn't have that same emphasis on realism, but there is a real emphasis on surviving in an underwater world, and you wind up having to build a sub so that you can reach the surface again, which is really cool. You can check out my video on my channel. I'll link to it while I'm talking now, I guess. And yeah, subscribe to my channel, I guess, or don't. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks very much for joining me. We'll catch you next time. Bye.